Hi, Wisdom Tree Preschool. Today we're going to be learning about horses' face markings. So we're going to learn about 6 face markings. The first 3 is the snip, which is a small piece on the nose of the horse. The second is a star, which is a circle or a diamond on the forehead of the horse. The third is a stripe. The stripe is a long, thin line that goes down the horse's head. The blaze is a thicker line that goes down the horse's head. A bald face is mostly white face. And then the last one would be when a horse has no face marking on it at all. So we're going to be looking at examples in our lesson horses of these face markings. So to start us off is the snip. That's the first face marking. And here you can see on Mushy Dumpling, right on his lip and his nose, you can see the white mark because he has a snip right on his nose. He's the only horse at 4-star who has only a snip as their face marking. The second face marking is the star. So remember, this is where there's just a white dot on the forehead. So our first horse who has a star is Ra. You can see he's got a little one right in between his eyes. Our next horse with a star is Fancy. She's a little older, so she also has gray hair surrounding the star, but the main face marking is the little white spot right in between her eyes. Our last horse at the barn with a star is Altivo. His is a little bigger than others. The stars can come in different sizes as long as it's a circle shape. Our third face marking is a stripe, so that's the long, thin line that goes from the top of the horse's head to his nose. Our first horse with a really good example of this is Odin. Odin has a little stripe that goes from the top of his head and it stays connected down to his nose. It's much thinner than we'll see in the other horses. The second horse at 4-star who has a stripe is Challenger. His is a little more put together, but it's still a thin line and compared to our next face marking, which is the Blaze. The Blaze has a much thicker and it takes up the whole forehead of the horse. It's a long and thicker line going down the face. The first horse at 4-star with the Blaze is Piper. As you can see, it's a little bit thicker than Challenger's. Daisy also has a Blaze. Hers is much thicker than both of theirs. Also, Demi has a Blaze. Hers is very big, white, all the way down from the top of the forehead to her nose. Next face marking, one of my favorites, is called a bald face. It's where the white covers part of the eyes and extends past the bridge of their nose, so the white starts going in other spots. Like Gypsy, who has some white all over her face and only has brown around her ears, and also some brown around her eyes. Sugar has no brown around her eyes, but as you can see, the white covers majority of her face. Her ears are left brown though. Not every horse is born with a face marking. Some have no markings on their face at all. Even though Thor is a gray horse, it doesn't mean that his whole face has a face marking. He has his flea-bitten gray markings all over his face. So he is just a gray horse without any face markings. Just like Blue, who's right here also, who is all flea-bitten gray with no face marking. Our last lesson horse is Ceres. He is a brown horse. He's a chestnut horse with no face marking. As you can see, there's no white on his face at all. Thanks for watching, Wisdom Tree. Will you see you guys this weekend for our pumpkin picking and our safe Halloween?